Hi there Aquarius, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot. This is your intuitive weekly tarot reading for June 1st to the 7th. So we've got some oracle cards here. We have in your recent past the Two of Pentacles with Awakening, which is the energy of judgment. Current or focus energies for this week, we have the High Priestess with the King of Crystals. We have the Three of Swords and Serenity, which is the energy of the Hermit, coming in towards the end of the week, or the result or outcome of this situation. So yeah, I mean, there is something coming to a head here, Aquarius, to do with a commitment. So of course it doesn't have to relate to love, it can also be commitment in the workplace as well, or friendship, family. This is a general reading. You know, the Three of Swords here, no one likes to see that card here, but you know, this is kind of saying that there might be some hurt here, but I feel like you're releasing something in order for you to move closer to your truth. So we're all going through quite an extended period of this at the moment, just with what's happening in life and energetics, and you know, where we're at as a collective. So there has been a lot of these kind of situations coming in. So even when there is pain, there is hurt, we have to keep in mind that, you know, it's leading us somewhere, and usually that somewhere is somewhere greater than we are now. Let's go to your oracles and have a look, and then we'll come back to the tarot. So we have birthing a new age, which is just perfect, because that's definitely that feeling of what I have got here, that you are moving into a new chapter, and to do that we have to release. But let's start with this one here. We have pranayama from the beautiful Yogic Path deck. Now, as you'll know, pranayama is, well, many of you probably do know, is the control of breath, and it talks about, you know, being able to inhale, you know, the beauty and the joy of life, and then to exhale any toxicity, stagnancy and dullness. And we could even look at that on the scale of release and purging as well. You know, if some of you are kind of going through a bit of a frequency shift, sometimes, you know, we just start to go through a period of our life where things that don't align with us anymore do start to naturally fall away. Some of you might be called to do some more kind of breath work or meditation practices as well. They are excellent in helping you detoxify and shift your energy in life, especially if you are going through a release. And we have birthing a new age here, which is about birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I feel that you are definitely shifting energetically. And like I said before, as you shift, things that don't align fall away. So let's read that one out, and then we'll go to your tarot cards. Often our path is exactly the one we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than what we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that intimidates us most. Be courageous and do it anyway. We're birthing a new age. Right now we're in transition between ages, in this process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new one to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. It's pretty perfect right there, Aquarius. You know, it really tells me that things that don't serve you or that are from the old paradigm are falling away. You know, I don't know what you believe, guys, but we did apparently move into the 5D state of consciousness as a collective last year. And anything that's kind of in that sort of old way of thinking, the limiting beliefs, the very physical, tangible, the ego, the dense, it's starting to fall away. And then we've gone through this COVID-19 thing, and that's just taught us these lessons of slowing down, of getting back to basics, of simplifying our life, of coming back to heart, of connecting, creating community with family and friends. And things are shifting, and I feel that many of us are now taking a good hard look at our life and making reassessments, you know, reevaluating if that job, that relationship, that way of being, you know, whether we're on our life purpose, all of these things. And there is a lot of purging going on, there's a lot of releasing going on. Yes, it comes with its pain and that sort of thing, but we have to think that with every cycle we end, we create space for a new cycle to come in that's in alignment with the new version of yourself that you're currently being. And okay, let's go to your recent past there on that note, guys. My little preamble. We've got the Two of Pentacles, and we've got the energy of awakening, which is judgment. So, you know, judgment can be an awakening, guys. So there could be a few different things going on. We have the Hermit and judgment or awakening in this reading. Some of you might be going through some kind of spiritual awakening or shift, or some of you might be going through that wake-up call with a situation. We've got the King of Crystals here, which is the King of Pentacles. I'm really sensing him in this reading, or his energy, as the energy of commitment, you know, those kind of committed sort of situations in our life, which of course can be relationships or the institution of work, the commitment to work that we have. The King of Crystals, you know, also is an indicator of trust. So maybe there has been a situation where there has been some indecision around trust in work, in romance, in a friendship, whatever the situation is for you. And I feel like there's been some sense of awakening or wake-up call to that, to kind of bring that to your attention. You know, with the energy of judgment, we hear the angel's trumpet. That can be symbolic of seeing the signs, feeling the intuition. We've got the High Priestess here as well. So I feel like there's some sense of a situation where you've been feeling ungrounded and a little bit unsteady, maybe because you felt like there was something going on behind the curtain, behind the scenes, and you know, you're really sort of wanting to know what is going on. The Two of Pentacles can indicate that there is some invested interest somewhere else in the situation. So if this is a work reading for you, it might look like you know, your workplace wanting to shift your role or let you go, or you know, reevaluating things because of the situation that we found ourselves in. It could be you feeling really uncertain about your work situation, feeling ungrounded. You know, if it's in a relationship sense, it could be you know, somebody that has invested interest with other partners, be it you or the other person. Or, you know, just that feeling of not really knowing where you stand with somebody as well. And that, of course, can make you feel ungrounded, make it feel like your pentacles are in the air, you know, you don't have that sense of balance within, which can lead to the, you know, the choppy waters, which are our emotional state when that feels unbalanced as well. With the number 2 here, you know, it's likely that this is occurring between, you know, you and a situation, a partnership, business partnership, you know, work situation with somebody, with a close friend, a family member, or a romantic partner. I'm not sure if I said that already, sorry. But with awakening, there is that sense too of the situation has kept you somewhat small or stuck or stagnant, and you're ready to birth a new age. You're rising up. Your frequency is changing and shifting. And there's a sense that the situation is no longer a match for you. And that if you do stay in it, that you are maybe doing yourself, cutting yourself short, keeping yourself, you know, constricted, or in a place where, you know, you can be bigger than that. You've got more to offer. You are rising up, and now you need situations that are going to match you in that. And I feel that that is what this awakening is about, Aquarius. It's time to match your new vibration. You're reassessing the situations in your life that are just not cutting the mustard anymore, basically. So current or focus energies this week, but High Priestess and the King of Crystals. Truths are coming to light. Secrets, mysteries revealed. I feel like whether this is information coming up from within you, you're really getting clear on, you know, your subconscious desires of how you truly want to be in your life now, and you want to move forward with that. Or this could be truth being revealed about the situation that you weren't quite sure what was going on with. You know, the High Priestess is a great revealer of mysteries. She, you know, knows what's going on behind that pomegranate curtain, and she brings you that information. And she often brings you that information through the portal of your intuition. So if you're having gut feelings, you're seeing signs, you know, you're feeling the flutter in your heart. You know, people feel the intuition in lots of different ways. It can come through dreams or visions as well if you've got quite a connection with the third eye space. definitely trust in that. But of course, you know, it's one thing to sort of trust an intuition, but sometimes we may want to have a conversation with that person to validate it as well, rather than just, you know, going to them and making accusations or that sort of thing. But you let the intuition be the compass. That's what's going to guide you in the situation. Now, King of Crystals, you could be dealing with an earth sign, male or female, gender and specific, guys. You know, so it could be a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Almost evaded me there. Yeah, I mean, the King of Crystals is somebody who could be in a position of authority over you, or some kind of, embodies that kind of dominant energy. So it could be a boss or a mentor, father or father-in-law, or a partner, husband, maybe older than you as well. And I feel like there is a question around, like I said before, the trust or commitment with this person. So that could be something that's coming to light. Maybe there's been some instability in that. Because we do have the Three of Swords in this reading, Aquarius, and, you know, unfortunately there's no sort of way to kind of say it other ways. That Three of Swords does indicate hurt and heartbreak, unfortunately. But what I do say when I see the Three of Swords in a reading is that, yes, sometimes we do go through heartbreak or hurts, but for a start, that is the first step in the healing process, and when we heal twice as strong. And, you know, when we do end a cycle, it usually ends for a reason. And I know at the time we can think, oh, I'm never going to get a job as good as that. I'm never going to meet a person I've got as much chemistry with as that. And then a year down the track, we're like, oh, thank goodness that ended. This is so much better, far, far greater. And I could never imagine what has actually come into my life now. So it's really important to have that thinking and to not try and hold and attach, and just to allow things to naturally complete when they're going to. And yeah, my goodness, I need to take my own advice as well. You know, we're all human here. Because, you know, the Three of Swords is a 3 as well, so it's saying that through endings and heartbreak and release, we open space for creation. Because 3 is also the number of creation in tarot, so we are starting a new cycle, one that's going to be much more in alignment. Now, Serenity, or the Hermit energy here, tells me that yes, this is all happening, so you're going to move into a greater place of internal harmony and peace. And definitely I would say a spiritual evolution upgrade with this. We've got 3 spiritual indicators in this reading. Some of you might be going through a spiritual awakening. I mean, 10 years ago that concept was like, oh, spiritual awakening, you know, that's just for weirdos. I feel like it's becoming commonplace now. People are really genuinely experiencing the phenomenon of spiritual awakening, be it the actual biochemical process of a Kundalini awakening, or an expansion of consciousness, or naturally starting to let go of their mind and moving into living with heart. There's all different ways to experience that, but it's really becoming in people's language now. And, you know, when we go through spiritual awakening, that's another time of our lives where things fall away that just don't suit. You know, trust me, guys, I've definitely been through this myself, and it's painful. It's painful. However, the ride gets better and it gets more aligned, and it's the way to journey to our best life. With the Hermit energy, the answers that you seek within, the intuition is always in your body, not in your mind. The mind doesn't know what the body wants. We need to try and release and let go of those thoughts. I know that's a life's work doing that, guys, don't worry. But if we can take a quiet moment, if we can meditate and go within, we can hear the intuition of the body. And, you know, I'm talking about things like when you think about a situation, if your gut contracts, you know, that's usually a no, that's a body no. Or if you feel relaxed and open, that's a body yes. Listening to that wisdom. Obviously, if we've been through a hurt where somebody else has, you know, dumped us or, you know, ended our employment, we don't have a choice, but it will become clear in time. You know, the Hermit goes within to seek answers, to join the dots, and it's in hindsight that he starts to understand. The Hermit also can indicate that there is going to be a time of healing alone and being independent. That can mean being single for a little while. You know, it could be 9 weeks, could be 9 months with this energy, or maybe going out on your own if this is a work situation, you know, starting to get some freelance work, thinking about that business that you wanted to get off the ground. I know right now from this place that the journey ahead and the path seems dim, and not dim as in bad, but that you can't see that path opening up. The idea with the Hermit energy is that the more you seek, the more you understand, the more you start to heal and restore, and you know, that's when that path starts to open up in front of you. It links to the star energy in the Rider version of this card. The Hermit has this little lantern with the star in it, and the star is the energy of renewal and rebirth, of birthing that new age within yourself. You know, on the micro level, what's going on in the macro as well at the moment. So, you know, as that star energy starts to burn brighter as we heal and seek, that's when the path forward illuminates. So there's going to be a process, guys. Don't expect to know where you're going, you know, immediately, but trust in that process, because, you know, the answers will be there. You just need to seek with them, and everything that you do want to know, you know, it does exist within you. Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. I felt like I might have had a bit of a ramble in that one, but hopefully it was a good ramble. It's definitely what I'm feeling with this reading. You think you are birthing a new age, you're really moving into a new period, a new chapter, a new frequency, and things that don't serve you have to go. You have to be willing to say goodbye. Okay, Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. I've talked long enough. Do keep in mind I'm reading for a collective. It won't be everyone's reading. If it's not, don't make it fit. It might be your one next week. Leave me a comment. I am really loving reading them all and replying to them all, because it helps me get to know you guys and connect with your energies. And I'll be back with you next week for another reading.